All right, I wanted to share you a fun trick on how to test out your fonts before you spend the money on buying them. So this is creativemarket.com. It's basically a marketplace for designers, font designers, graphic creators to sell stuff that they create. So I love to come here if I need icons for a logo that I know that I won't be able to draw. I come here, find some similar icons, and then I tweak them to fit the needs of my project. But for today, I want to share with you my favorite font trick. The fonts here, the reason I love this is because the fonts are super reasonably priced, and there's just so many options. You can see they are broken down into categories here. Say our fonts are fonts that have the little lines on the edge of the letters. Sans serif fonts do not have those lines. They're more smooth like that. Script fonts are like handwritten fonts. Display fonts are like bold, fun fonts that you would use as a headline. Symbol fonts, I don't really use. They're a little more quirky. Black letter are thick, thick fonts. Same with slab serif. They're generally fonts that have a really thick, line on the top or bottom. Non-Western means just that. Modern fonts are the newest trends. Hipster fonts, kind of also the newest trends. They've actually added new categories, and this is kind of fun to walk through. But hipster fonts are just those cool fonts right now. Wedding fonts, same thing, what you would use in a wedding invitation, or even like if you have a brand that's wedding related, you might look into those fonts. So I love looking at display fonts for logos because um, it normally like those are normally the fonts that I would use in a logo. And when you come to it, it will probably be on this grid on mine because I do it so much. It's generally on this list, but so you can toggle back and forth between seeing this font cover here or seeing it listed out. You can also see there's bundles here sometimes, which is awesome because there's sometimes I want three of the fonts in here and it's just smarter to invest in the bundle. But you can see kind of what the fonts look like here, which is super nice. But sometimes you want to see what the font looks like in your wording. And there's a way to do that. So you are going to go over here to the list icon, click on that, and then you're going to type your, I was doing mom buns for a project, but you're going to type your text here. So I'm going to just type in Wander Design Co. And I like to type it out all lowercase, all uppercase, a mix of the two, so that I can see what it looks like in all those different ways. And then you can play with how big you want to see it. I generally do it so it will fill as much of the screen as possible, because then I can screenshot and play with it in Illustrator. But you can see what these look like then, all typed out in your font. Because let's say you really enjoy let's find a font here. Say you really like the E in Pearl, but maybe it's not going to look the same when it's used in the word you need to type out. So let's just type out wander and we can see. So maybe I really liked how the E played with the A. Well, that doesn't do the same thing in the font when it's typed out like that. So you can kind of play with what that'll look like, what the different letters, how they work together. But it's just a really fun way to test out a font before you buy it. And with that, that's my special. That's my trick. But I encourage you to play around on Creative Market, and if you don't have fonts, definitely test it out and see what fonts you want in your business.